So, intermittent fasting. You see it everywhere, right? It's one of the biggest trends in wellness, but what's the real story behind all the hype? Today, we're going to cut through all that noise. We're going to figure out what's science, what's myth, and most importantly, what you actually need to know if you're thinking about trying it. All right, let's get into it. This is the big one. This is the claim that really launched fasting into the stratosphere. The idea that you could live longer just by changing when you eat. I mean, it sounds incredible, maybe a little too good to be true. So, is it? To really get to the bottom of this, we have to play detective. We need to go back in time all the way to the very beginning, to the one study that kicked this whole thing off. 80%. It all started back in 1982 with a study on rats, and when researchers put these rats on an alternate-day fasting schedule, they saw something that just blew their minds. Their lifespan shot up by as much as 80%. That's almost double. I mean, you can imagine, the scientific world absolutely lit up. But here's where it gets complicated. Turns out, replicating that incredible result was, well, it was really tricky. A massive review of decades of research showed the results were all over the place and way less dramatic. So scientists decided to move up the evolutionary ladder to our closer cousins, rhesus monkeys. Since these guys are 93% genetically identical to us, the hope was that these studies would finally give us a clear answer for humans. Except they didn't. We got two huge 20-year-long studies that came to completely opposite conclusions. One study said yes, fasting extends life. The other said nope, no effect at all. So what on earth was going on? Well, the secret is right there on the screen, and it's fascinating. The diet. The monkeys who lived longer were eating a processed, high-sugar diet to begin with. The ones who saw no benefit, they were already eating a healthy, natural diet. And that right there is the key takeaway. Fasting isn't a magic wand you can wave over a bad diet. And if you're already eating pretty well, it probably won't add a ton of years to your life. Honestly, if longevity is what you're after, the data is way, way stronger for regular exercise, which could add a solid 7 to 10 years to your life. Okay, so if fasting isn't the fountain of youth, then why is everyone so excited about it? Let's shift gears from the myth and look at what the science actually says fasting does for our bodies, because there are some pretty cool, very real benefits. It really comes down to three main things. First, it helps lower your insulin. This is a big deal because every time you eat, boom, your insulin spikes. Do that too often, and you can head towards insulin resistance, which is at the root of so many health problems. Fasting just gives your system a break. Second, it boosts something called metabolic flexibility. And third, it ramps up this incredible process of cellular spring cleaning called autophagy. Let's dig into those last two. Metabolic flexibility is just a fancy term for how good your body is at switching its fuel source. See, most of us are really good at burning sugar for fuel because, well, we eat it all the time. Fasting is like a workout for your metabolism. It teaches your body how to get really efficient at burning its own fat for energy. And when that happens, you get more stable energy and you're not constantly feeling hungry. All right, next up is autophagy. This literally means self-eating. And yeah, it's as cool as it sounds. Think of it as your body's built-in cleanup crew and recycling program. It goes around, finds old, damaged, junky cells, and breaks them down for parts, clearing out the clutter so new, healthy cells can thrive. I just love this analogy from the source material. It's perfect. When your body is under a little bit of stress, like when food isn't coming in, it gets resourceful. It starts looking around for things it doesn't really need, like that old blender, or in this case, old damaged cell parts, and recycles them for immediate cash, or, energy. And this cleanup process has some seriously powerful benefits. It helps get rid of damaged cells that could potentially turn into tumors down the road. Some studies even suggest it might improve your memory by clearing out old, gunked-up brain cells. Now, this is always happening in the background, but fasting is like stomping on the gas pedal and really revving up the whole process. Okay, but it's not all sunshine and cellular cleanup. We have to talk about the other side of the coin, because fasting has some very real, very serious potential drawbacks, and it is absolutely crucial that you understand these risks before you even think about trying it. So check this out. For people over 50 who already have low muscle mass, studies show a pretty shocking 40 to 50% increased risk of dying from any cause. That is a massive number, and it points directly to the single biggest danger of doing fasting the wrong way. Here's the deal. Your body needs protein to function. If you're fasting for long stretches and not getting enough protein during your eating window, your body is going to find that protein somewhere, and that somewhere is your own muscle tissue. Sacrificing your precious metabolically active muscle is just a terrible trade-off for any of the benefits of fasting. It's not worth it. Okay, the second big pitfall has everything to do with that first bite of food after your fast. Think about it. Your digestive system has been quiet, empty, and just resting. It's incredibly sensitive, and what you introduce to it first matters more than anything else you eat that day.
So here it is, maybe the most important practical rule of all. Whatever you do not break your fast with sugar or a bunch of refined carbs. That means no juice, no pastry, no toast. Hitting your empty, super-sensitive system with a rush of sugar is going to cause a tidal wave of a glucose and insulin spike, which is exactly what you want to avoid.
All right, so now that we know the real benefits and the pretty serious risks, is there a smart way to do this? Absolutely. So let's walk through the playbook for how to fast safely and actually make it work for you. It boils down to 4 simple rules. 1. Protein is king. This is non-negotiable. You have to get enough protein to protect that muscle. A good goal is about 1 gram per pound of your ideal body weight. 2. Break your fast with savory food. Protein, fiber, healthy fats. Starting with some veggies or a handful of nuts is perfect. 3. Stop snacking all day. The whole point is to create distinct meals and give your body a real break in between. That's all things like 16-8 are. Just tools to stop you from grazing. And finally, number 4. Listen to your body. Fasting is a form of stress. If you're not sleeping well, if your energy is gone, if you just feel awful, stop. It might be too much for your system right now.
And if you take away just one single thing from all of this, let it be this quote right here. It's one of the most important lessons in nutrition, whether you're fasting or not. It's not just about eating less, it's about eating smarter. So, how does thinking about this principle change the way you look at your own plate?